Colonel Conrad Mialkowski, Commander 2 Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group.
And so today we're here marking the 25th anniversary of the conflict in Kuwait, Operation Friction.
Yes.
Okay. How did that change the Canadian Armed Forces from before that? It was relatively Korea, then Cyprus, and then all of a sudden Kuwait. How did that change or define us in a different way?
Yeah, I think that's a good question because it was a bit of a starting point and a departure from more sort of traditional peacekeeping that had evolved in the Middle East and where we were in Cyprus. And then 1991 came in kind of like with a bang. So in a global context, we had seen the transition from the Cold War into far more cooperation and collaboration between the new Russia and the United States. And there was that in the background of the 1991 Gulf War, where publicly folks like Minister Shevardnadze gave public support to the United States-led coalition with Saudi Arabia in order to sort of reestablish Kuwait as a country again, and then stop Iraqi aggression. And the region itself has been forever changed since 1991 with a series of different activities and actions, and that continues to evolve to this day. I think for Canada, certainly the Canadian military, as you've just commented on, we had a period of sort of two large conflicts and then a long period of peacekeeping. And then with the 1991 Gulf War, the Canadian military adopted a sort of different strategy. It appointed a task force commander, and it was Joint Task Force 1. Commodore Summers took charge of that. There was a naval task force that interoperated with the coalition. There was an air task force of CF-18s supported by Hercules transport. And then, pardon me, the ground force, which really the significant contribution was the 1st Canadian Field Hospital, and then force protection elements from 1st Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment supporting the field hospital, and then 3rd Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment, later 1st Battalion Van Duze, supporting the airfield security in Qatar, where the F-18s were emplaced. And really from that time, if you mark sort of Canadian military history, we have constantly been engaged in operations around the world from that point and sort of departed from that traditional Cyprus peacekeeping role. So many of those lessons learned in terms of that medical contribution, that fighter contribution, the naval task forces interoperating with the U.S. and other coalition forces, that kind of changed our sort of more global outlook and has marked that return to a variety of operations in the land, in the air, and on the sea.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.